The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us here on the Low Fact Podcast, mini-teen edition.
Mini-teen.
You know, mini-quarantine.
That's a good word.
It's a fake word.
Nobody's using that word though. I like it.
Yeah. So, Dave and Matt here, coming at you from the kind of locked down state of California.
Our alternative studio.
What were we going to talk about today? Did you have anything?
I do, but not right now. Next topic.
What are you not right now?
Well, it's stuff that's everybody's talking about, you know?
Which is?
Which is just everybody being unsure about this frickin' disease. And this, you know, there's all these statistics being thrown around, and it just seems like nobody is really clear about the threat of this thing. And I'm like, well, is it really bad or is it not really bad? And I can't tell you.
Well, neither can they, right? Isn't the answer, we don't know, maybe it is?
And so, why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, do they not know? I mean, they must know by this point.
They know some things.
I mean, they know it's highly contagious. They know that it can hang around on stuff.
Right, they know some things, but, you know, you gotta be somewhat intelligent to develop a test or a protocol, and...
Wasn't there like a 15-minute test now that they've come up with?
I don't know, I haven't been paying attention, but the whole point is you need to be somewhat intelligent to come up with a test or protocol for how to handle a social situation or a viral epidemic, and, you know... So much of life is full of so many mundane moments that you can go through your entire life and not have to have something new or innovative come about. And you just have to, you know, rely on what's come before. But then, you know, what happens when something comes up that you need to start being a little bit innovative and calm and thinking, and then the truth comes out. 98% of the people are a bunch of idiots.
Everybody.
What do you mean?
You mean 98% of the people that are telling us what we should and shouldn't be doing?
I don't know. First of all, that number is just pulled out of my butt. And secondly, you know, I didn't go around doing statistically modeled surveys with, you know, with rigorous standards of testing. I'm just saying that most and everybody at some time is a dumbass. Most people are dumbasses at the most inopportune moments. If you're a lucky sort of person, there are no inopportune moments in your life, and your lack of intellectual capacity is not commensurate with your lot in life. Meaning, your stupidity didn't prevent you from making lots of money.
Okay.
Or making a living. I know I keep on coming back to this over and over and over again, but, you know, I've just seen too many examples of it happening. Again, this is all empirical, you know, stuff.
You're observing?
My empirical observations, but there are way too many people that I've come across that seem way too frickin' stupid to have, they are the human equivalent of domesticated turkeys.
Ooh.
And yet... they can still make a living. They find some other person that has lustful thoughts about them and decides to marry them, and then they create more children. And I'm sitting here going, I don't understand.
And just what, they're just going to perpetrate the next generation's going to be the same?
Well, no one's going to sit there and it's a pretty big thing to even honestly admit to oneself, let alone to others. I didn't do jack shit to get what I got. That simple statement, that admission is going to be impossible for, I think, most people. Because you don't want, because if, and you said it before, if you have no control or Not even control. If what you get is not because of your abilities, then, it can be taken away in a split second. But here's a newsflash. Everything you got can be taken away from you in a split second.
I just think it's funny that in situations like this, the kinds of people that we're looking to, they don't care. It seems like most of them, they pretend to care, but they don't really care.
And
like, they don't care about the populace, They're just, they don't want to look bad. They don't want to look like they're not doing anything. And they're sitting there saying, it's the stay home thing. Stay in your house, stay in your house, stay in your house. And I'm like, well, what if that's wrong? What if the way that this thing spreads, they should be figuring out who the folks are that are the most likely to contract, and then making sure that they're not sitting there and infecting everybody
that might take
in their household. And now it's all just been. I've made the mistake of getting on Twitter in the last week, and it just seems like everything is geared towards, they're just weaponizing it and politicizing it and making everything about Donald Trump. And I'm like, I don't get it.
Wasn't that the whole point of Twitter? You're either for Donald Trump or you're not? Yeah,
well, that is Twitter, actually. That's actually a pretty good definition of Twitter. So someone will throw out a statement, like, for example, the United States, what is it you call it when you've got it? What is that word?
Infection?
They're talking about the infection rates are the highest in America now. America has more infections than any other country.
You mean the number of cases?
Yeah. The number of infected people is now, everyone's like, America's number one. 17% of infections are in America. And I'm like, well...
What do you mean 17% of infections?
Of all infections, they're saying 17% are American, based on the testing that they've done.
Right,
the last day.
But then shouldn't it say at the bottom, we don't know how many people actually are infected?
Yeah, they don't say that. They're just like 17% of the cases, of all the coronavirus cases that have been found and tested and discovered in the world of the coronavirus, 17% are American. I'm like, that statistic doesn't mean anything. In a vacuum, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, it doesn't mean anything outside of a vacuum either, I don't think.
Because I'm like, well, how many of those people are people who might die?
I think that question of yours is actually kind of stupid. Who cares?
I want to know whether or not it's risky or not. How many people is it killing?
In order to get an accurate number, you have to test every single person in the world.
Well, that's impossible.
How? I don't know about impossible, but highly improbable.
Yeah, and they have somebody came up. They've come up with a test now where they can test for it and tell you whether you have it within 15 minutes.
Well, that might
as opposed to 2 days.
That might be very helpful.
I think it's very helpful. But everybody's talking about, like, everybody out of the country, like people on Twitter in New Zealand, for example, are sitting there saying, oh, Americans are all just like running around, like nobody's respecting the quarantine, whereas here in New Zealand, we're respecting the quarantine. I'm like, I'm in America. Like, everyone's been in their houses for 2 weeks. I guess they're looking at the news. And the news is saying, oh, Americans not, Trump's not taking this seriously. Trump's screwing this up. Yada, yada, yada. Just everything is about, oh, this is Trump's fault and everybody's going to die because of Trump. And I'm just like, that is crazy talk to me. And it pisses me off.
I don't know why it would. That's kind of stupid.
You what? Because you think most people are going to sit there and say that's stupid?
No, I'm saying.
You're saying it's stupid.
I don't really care what other people think. Sitting around getting pissed off over an app that essentially has two camps. You're either a political person, a media person, or an explicit media person.
And it's the same. Even the comments are the same. Like it's like a for or against comment. So someone will say something about, oh, how America has the most infections, and then it's either the camp of people saying that's bullshit, things are terrible in China, or people saying, yeah, things aren't being managed very well in America. That's it.
So you're really...
And everyone's getting really worked up, and I got angry.
Serves you right.
For being on Twitter?
For being... Yeah. You got angry. Serves you right.
And you don't get... it just...
Well, that's all the time we have, but that's because Matt always interrupted me when I was going to say something, and you just want to kept on talking. So, thank you for listening, and we'll come back to you real soon.